Hi there, I'm Stefan from Bravo Paramotors, and today I want to show you how to assemble and disassemble our foot launch unit Bravo FL105. When you will receive a paramotor, most likely it will come like this, so it will be disassembled. We will have the propeller removed and the cage removed. So here we have the propeller. This is our cage bag, which contains the cage itself and the spars, the top spars and the side spars. Let's open the bag and see what we have inside. Here we have the cage and here we have the spars. We have two pockets here. In the top pocket you will find side spars. They are going in just by pressing a camping button or a push button like this. Right one as well. In the second pocket we will take it out. This is the top spar, push pins. I hope that this is how they're called. You go in, click. The next step is attaching the push starter handle. That is done by a very simple. We will take the cage from the bag, which looks like this. First step is to unwrap the line until you will have the cage like this. And usually we start disassembling our cage on the left side and we go towards the right. And obviously assembling it is the reverse order. That means that we start on the right side and we go all the way to the left. To identify the very first cage section that goes in on the right, you need to identify the end of the net, which is this side, and the rivets which are going in the front part of the paramotor. So that means that this is the first one to go in there. And as a tip, usually what I recommend to our new students, just put a sign with a marker or just a simple piece of tape, put here and there, so you will identify immediately which one would be the first one to go in. If you go here, just again the same. Once it clicked, it's in, all the way seated. Now we go here. So another important detail, these two buttons are working just one at a time. Once you assemble one cage part, this should be clicked. So if this is not clicked, you will not be able to press this one. So if you'll be able to press this one, that means that this one is already clicked in correctly. This one, then again click this one and you go around the other part. Again the same concept here, just a click, push button, and go here and again click. It's very satisfying to hear these buttons clicking. All the cage is installed correctly, all the buttons are out. Now it's time to tension the net. For that we have a carabiner, which is like this once you assemble the whole cage. Now holding both ends in your hands, you slide it all the way to the left side. You pull the right side in, you go behind the seat, just behind the seat like this, and you take it on the other side. Here now you just attach this loop, carabiner closed, and now we want to tension the net as good as we can. We're putting as much pressure as we can. Don't be shy with it. This is as secure and sturdy as possible. And now with the excess piece of cord, the only solution we got is just to wrap it around this spot here several times. It's very quick, and then just go back into the carabiner here, and everything is nice and secure. Now that the cage is in place, it's time to install the propeller. Let me turn the paramotor around. On this step, we will highly recommend for you guys to use a torque wrench. If not, then use a very small Allen key that will not allow you to over torque the bolts. People are over torquing them, so they apply too much pressure on the bolts and they actually crush the propeller hub. So highly recommended to use a torque wrench. We take the propeller out from the bags. Don't put them aside yet because we have the bolts and the flanges in the propeller bag pockets. So we will assemble two halves as such until you can clearly see the holes through it. While you look at the propeller, you have both of the logos on the same side, okay? In the propeller cover, we have here a pocket. It's a full Velcro pocket, so nothing falls from it. We have the flanges here. So these are the bolts. For the purpose of this video, we are using an old style helix propeller, which requires that spacer. So if you receive your paramotor with an E-prop or a new style helix, that means that spacer is not needed. So now we just install all the bolts in like this. Now you go the probe to the paramotor. Please be sure that you tighten your bolts all the way to the flange by hand, so there is no chance of you cross thread the bolts. For this old helix style, we use 10 Newton meters. You just get all the bolts kind of snug at first, so you kind of distribute the pressure on the flange evenly. And now we go with full torque. And the propeller is installed. Now we have our Bravo paramotor ready to fly, a little bit of gasoline, and be sure that you use break-in mixture, so you need a little bit more oil. You will find all the details in the manual of the engine that you will receive with your paramotor. Break-in fuel and enjoy your flying. Now that you already enjoyed your flight, most likely it's time to go home. And some of us are not as lucky to have big enough cars to transport the whole thing in one piece. That means that we will need to disassemble. So let me show you how we will disassemble this unit now, and I will show you a few tips and tricks that will help you keep the cage together without getting the net tangled, all this stuff around. So first steps is removing the tension from the net itself. That means that we go here, we take the loop out of the carabiner itself, take this loop away, and we have here a small lever. We pull this lever away, and that means that we release the ratchet inside, so we can take the cord away through the pulley. Now we take this away, but never leave these ends free from your hands. All the times hold them in your hands, because if not, then they can go through the net and they can get tangled. So hold them in your hands like this. We go behind, we grab it with the other hand, we go in front of the paramotor, and we hook it back here. And now that we have a complete loop with the tensioning cord, it's basically impossible for it to get tangled. Now that we have the net tensioning line loose, we can start disassembling the cage. Disassembling the cage will start on the left side, as we started assembling it on the right side. So now we start to disassembly on the left side. For that, I like to start with this particular part here, because I have leverage with the spar. Now push the button here and just use this spar as leverage and take it away. Left hoop. Now towards the pilot, we will stash all the cage parts as such. Again, press the button, take it away. Go here, press the button, take it away. Now the cage should look like this. I just like to wrap it around like this. We put the cage first here, remove the pull start handle, push button on one side, push button on the other side. As you want to put this in the first pocket here down, you will see that sometimes this part is basically 1-2 centimeters wider than the pocket, and this thing you can actually, bend it a little bit. Don't be too hard on it, because you will literally bend it for good. So just squeeze it a little bit until you put it in the pocket. Again, button, click, click. And these clicks are so satisfying to hear. One like this and one like this. Put it in the other pocket so they won't scratch each other. Now put the cage as such. And with this, the whole paramotor and the whole cage of the paramotor is in this bag, disassembled and ready to go home. The last part of this assembly process would be removing the propeller and removing all the 6 bolts, and that is necessary only if you have a super small car and you want to fit it in a very small trunk. If not, I totally recommend leaving the propeller in place, because you can put it on the front seat or wherever with the propeller assembled, so we won't kind of wear down these threads in this aluminum pulley. In case you need to do that, please do it. It's not a big deal, but our recommendation is to just leave the propeller on. The last step is just protect your baby from scratches, and for that you use our bags. As such, there is a very sturdy velcro in the middle. Your paramotor is ready to travel.